Good evening, and thank you for joining today's or this evening's live to continue with our story, Nerd Girls by Alan Lawrence Sitomer. We are on chapter 3, and I want to let you know that the information about the book is in the description in case you want to check it out for yourself. The book does have 23 chapters, and tonight we will be ending with chapter 3. So if you would like to hear the whole story, be sure to check out your local library to see if they have it available. Let's begin. You know, I don't really need any help when it comes to creating level 10 embarrassing situations for myself. However, the three P's were always eager to lend me a hand. How nice of them. Like that time I saved Q from the three P's, well, the way I did it was by hijacking these special peanut butter and mango marmalade sandwiches the Vixens had made in order to trigger a monster allergic reaction in the new girl at school. Then, once I had the sandwiches, I quickly jammed them into my mouth so that the weapons of torment would be eliminated. Unfortunately, this act of heroism for Q turned into a personal disaster for me. A disaster that ended up on YouTube thanks to Brittany Bratney. Oh, the joy of seeing myself online running around the outdoor courtyard screaming, with my mouth full of sticky peanut butter preventing me from being able to utter an understandable word. The story ended well for me, though. The video went viral. Pathetic. Justice, though, was eventually served on the three P's after our school's big talent show when those witches ended up sucking a karmic lemon good and hard. That's because my older brother, Marty, made their eyebrows fall out. Just before they took their official school yearbook photo, too. In the pics, their faces look like Easter eggs designed by kindergartners on laughing gas. A video of that was also posted on YouTube. It was hysterical. At least I thought so. Our school principal, not so much. Anyway, while we were thinking about letting bygones be bygones, the three P's were planning revenge. And now that they had double-crossed Beanpole and somehow fixed the lock on the door, we were sitting ducks. I knew it, I thought. I just knew it. An ominous voice cackled from above. I tilted my head backward and saw a window above the doorframe. Suddenly, 1, 2, then 3 faces appeared. Well, looky what we have here, nerdwads in the art room. They must have been standing on a ladder. Though the glass muffled their voices somewhat, we could still easily hear them. Nice pants, Maureen. Is there going to be a rainstorm? Brittany Bratney asked about my new capris. Or does the weather just call for thunder thighs? The three P's let out a big mean laugh. Yeah, or lightning hair. Kiki and Bratney paused, then turned to stare at 3P number 3, Sophs. Some girls are not playing with the full deck. Sophs O'Reilly wasn't even dealt any cards. Huh? Kiki asked. You know, lightening your hair, Sophs explained. Like when you use too much peroxide-based color wash and the oxidation of the follicles creates a shade of tint that's too light. So, are you sure the chemicals you use in your hair products are safe for your brain? Kiki asked. Well, if the shampoo I was using contained pyrethrin, there might be cause for concern, but they only put that in pet shampoo to help control fleas and ticks. Kiki rolled her eyes. Can we please get back to the reason we're here? Yeah, payback. Bratney lifted up her camera phone and prepared to record us on video. Oh, nerd girls, I hope you like art collages, Kiki said, because you are about to become one. On YouTube, Bratney added with fiendish joy. But you said we were going to bury the hatchet, Beanpole called up to them. The only thing that is getting buried today, Dorco, is you. Kiki lifted a black device. Under a blizzard. Was that a remote control? This is gonna be double, double, nice, nice, Bratney said, getting ready to hit the record button. Kiki glanced around at all of the fans in the art room. 6 of them, the big industrial kind, had been spread around, each pointing toward the center. Each pointing toward us. Suddenly, I saw a sense of organization in everything. Trays of uncovered paint had been positioned in front of the fans on the left. Tubes of glitter, their tops removed, sat in front of the fans on the right. I saw feathers and strips of felt and confetti and sparkly things galore, all placed in a position where the wind from the fans would be sure to hit them. No wonder it had taken the 3Ps 3 days to set this up. The whole room had been booby-trapped. Don't do it, Kiki, I warned. Too late, Skinny Chubby, it's done. Kiki pressed the on button, and the fans whirred to life. Take cover, I yelled, as if I were in the army. Incoming! Beanpole and Q didn't budge, because they had no idea what I was talking about. Seconds later, paint began to fly, splattering everywhere. Feathers and glitter and felt strips swirled about. Within seconds, we were in the middle of a hurricane. I tried the door again, still locked. I tried to turn off a fan, but couldn't see any buttons on it because of the ever-increasing typhoon of arts and crafts. Finally, all I could do was try my best to block my face as art materials showered us from all angles. Purple, green, yellow, red. It was like being inside the middle of a cyclone. Then it stopped. Just stopped. Faintly, I heard a voice. That's enough, Kiki. That's enough. It was Soph's. You said it wouldn't be that bad. Kiki laughed. You get that? She asked Bratney. 'Cause I can turn them back on. No, don't, Sophs protested. Bratney lowered her phone, checked the playback screen, and smiled. Got it all. She smirked wickedly, then laughed. Wonder how many hits this one will have on YouTube. I wonder how long they are going to sit stuck in there before they're discovered, Kiki responded. Sophs wrinkled her brow. You mean we're not gonna let them out? What if they supplicate? You mean suffocate, Kiki said, correcting her. Yeah, what if they suffocate, Sophs repeated. There's air in there, Kiki replied. And fumes too, I imagine. Kiki high-fived Bratney and hooted. Double, double, nice, nice. With the recent budget cuts, our school had an art teacher on campus only 3 days a week, and today, Friday, wasn't one of them. That meant that it might not be until after the weekend before we'd be discovered. I gazed at Q. Paint, feathers, and sparkles decorated her forehead. She looked like she'd been mugged by a gang of preschoolers. Well, Soph said, clearly uncomfortable with the idea of abandoning us in a locked room. What if they starve to death? Kiki glanced at us. I'm sure the porky one will eat the other 2 before that happens. Now come on, let's go before someone comes. But wait, Soph protested. We can't just leave them in there. Oh, yes we can, Kiki shot back, and we will. Sophs didn't challenge her further. Hey, nerds, we'll leave the key in the lock for you, Kiki said, dangling a set of silver keys in the window where we could see them. All you have to do to get out to unlock the door, and then you can get out. Like Houdini, Bratney said as she high-fived Kiki one more time. Their payback for what had happened to them at the talent show complete. Each of the three Ps took one final look at us from the window. Kiki stared like a military general, as if she were a battlefield commander who had just done some stern and serious damage to her enemy. Bratney wore the smile of a snob, the kind of smirk that belongs to a kid who thinks she's better than everyone else and likes rubbing their noses in it. Sophs, however, bit her bottom lip and twirled a strand of hair. She looked worried, concerned. For her, this was a prank that had gone too far. Come on, Kiki. Come on, Kiki said. We are outie. A moment later, their heads dipped down below the window frame and they were gone, out of sight. I turned to Q. You okay? Slowly she reached for her inhaler. How about you, Beanpole? Beanpole raised her eyes but didn't speak. Hurt, betrayal, and disbelief filled her face. I stared for a second, completely unable to imagine how long a bath it was going to take to get all the paint and glitter off her body. This was what happened when you let bygones be bygones, I thought. People mowed you down. We need to get out of here, I said, trying the door handle again. Still locked. Beanpole lifted her phone to make a call. She pushed a few buttons, then stopped. Ruined. She looked at her device, which had been drenched in paint, totally destroyed. Q and I quickly checked our cellies. Great, no bars. I just wanted to bury the hatchet, Beanpole explained, half apologizing to us, half trying to figure it out for herself. A tear filled with glitter fell from one eye. I just thought that we should, all try to get along. I didn't answer. I knew things could never be good between girls like them and girls like us. Meanness was in their blood, and stupidity was clearly in ours. The only sound in the supply room came from Q. 1 hour and 45 minutes later, as we sat stranded in the art room, a click broke the silence. What the stuffings happened to you? Vice Principal Stone, a tall, gray-haired, medium-bellied old guy in a bright red tie, walked through the door. Of course, we nerd girls are a lot of things, but one thing we are not is snitches. Nothing, I said, a fuzzy pink feather dropping from my chin. Neither Beanpole nor Q said a word. Mr. Stone stared, semi-astounded at the sight of us. He waited for more of an explanation. We didn't give him one. A gap of silence followed. Finally, seeing that he wasn't getting anywhere with us, Mr. Stone shifted the black walkie-talkie he was carrying from his left hand to his right and noticed that Beanpole was holding a cell phone. Finally, seeing that, why didn't you call someone? Beanpole lifted her phone, destroyed. She was so sad I thought we were going to have a funeral for this thing, like it was some sort of fluffy pet that had died or something. No bars, I commented, lifting up my phone. The vice principal tried to assess the situation. Mr. Stone was one of those old-time guys who had been around this school for like 30 years, and I could tell by the look on his face that he almost wished he'd never opened that door. After rubbing his temples in an I already have a migraine from this way, the VP slowly raised his walkie-talkie to his lips. Stone to office. Stone to office. Copy. No answer. The VP rolled his eyes and tried again. Stone to office. Stone to office. Copy. Mr. Stone gazed around the room. He had to have been thinking, what a disaster. You realize I'm less than 1 year away from my retirement, right? I mean, I don't need this, he said. I don't need this at all. None of us responded. Stone to office. Stone to office. Do you copy? He repeated, raising his voice. Oh, come on, he said in frustration to his walkie-talkie. How'd you find us? Beanpole asked, a popsicle stick dangling in her hair. Anonymous tip, he answered. Suddenly a voice crackled from the radio. Copy, Mr. Stone. Go ahead. Finally, he said before speaking into the radio transmitter. I need a hose, some soap, and 3 top-to-bottom aardvark outfits from the PE room sent back to C Wing of the campus. Copy. There was a moment of silence on the other end, as if whoever was listening was struggling to understand the request. Why? Copy. Mr. Stone glared at the 3 of us before responding. Looks like we got ourselves a little situation with some of our scholars. And that is the end of chapter 3, my friends. And so, like I said, there are 23 chapters in this book. It is a library book, so you should be able to find it in your local library. If you want to finish it, just look at the description to see how to spell the author's name. It is Alan Lawrence Sitomer, and the name of the book is called Nerd Girls with an S at the end, plural. So I hope to do more stories like this in the future if anyone is interested. And that's going to be the end of this book today. And I will see you guys in the morning if you would like to join me for the vintage doll restoration. It'll be 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. So I'll see you then if you're joining, or just watch some of the new videos that I have loaded. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Tamara. And thank you, Robin and Tamara, for joining, and all the rest of you. Until next time, bye-bye.